Yo, what's going on, man? It's Jay Floyd, aka Big Bro. Just coming at y'all again, man. Just wanted to chop it up. My today's topic, man, I just had this thing pressing on my spirit, man, about how we let people support us, right? Like last time I came on here and I talked about some of the things I was doing to cut back. You know, I got a lot of people like, yeah, that's what's up. But listen, one of the biggest things we can do, man, we always talking about how we got to start building a community. We have to learn how to be a community, right? We got to start learning how to be there for each other. And that means we got to do a lot of hard work. For one, we got to start learning how to allow people to be in our lives in a different way. Building new relationships that's built on different things. A lot of our friendships, relationships, marriages, the situationships, a lot of that stuff is built on the wrong things. You know what I mean? Because if we wasn't doing the right thing, if we wasn't speaking clearly, if we had a lot of passive aggressiveness, if we didn't have stuff healed in our life, when we built those relationships, when we built this life, when we built all the details around us, the infrastructure that supports us right now, if I didn't have my life together, if I wasn't doing things right then that infrastructure is going to be flawed, right? And so we got to learn how to start taking the steps. You know, one of the things I always talk about at my workshop, man, pardon me, I get worked up, man. I get that spring water going on. Now listen, one of the things I talk about in my workshop, man, is when you make a change, if you say like right now, I'm going to start communicating clearly, right? I want clear communication. I don't want no questions. I don't want no doubts. I don't want to passive aggressively use my words. I want to start saying things clearly. Well, now I got to go and start fixing all the times, all the people I set up relationships with or destroyed relationships with, all the things around me that was built on when I did it the wrong way, right? So we got to start making those changes. So one of the things I was thinking about today, man, one of those changes is how we let people hold us. Yeah, how we let people hold us, how we let people comfort us and step into our life. Let me give you a quick story real quick. One day, me and my wife, we were getting the kids ready for church, man. We were not seeing eye to eye. I had a lot of stress going on in my mind, man. You know how that goes. You know, in the morning, you know, back in the old days when you could leave the house, you know, in the mornings, you're getting the kids ready. Things are stressing you. Things are not going right. So we get to church, man, and I walk in. I'm walking into the building, and, you know, we got 3 kids, man. We just like, all right, come on, kids, let's get up there so we can get you locked in to the child area and we can go to church. And my man walked up to me. My man came up to me. My man, Keith Oliver. Shout out to Keith Oliver, man. My man came up to me and he was like, yo, Brother Jay Floyd, how you doing today, bro? And I was like, your boy ain't doing too good. You know, I was like, yo, I've had better days than this one, you know, to be completely honest with you. So I was like, hey, pray for your boy. And went to leave. Dapped him up and he wouldn't let my hand go. He wouldn't let it go. He was like, yo, I'll pray for you right now. And he grabbed me and he prayed for me, man. And it really, right then and there, a lot of the tension just started to fade, man. You know, so I want to use that as an example of how my man, when he gripped my hand, he ain't let me go. I gave him my hand and he gripped it. He didn't let it go. He asked me how I was doing and I told him. And he asked me because he honestly cared. And I told him and he did something about it, right? So a lot of times we go through a lot of things, you know. I see a lot of people, you know, especially on social media, people will post all the time like, man, I'm there for everybody. And people ain't never there for me. When I need people, they ain't there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm tired of this, so I'm cutting everybody off. For one, that ain't the way to go about it. But for two, maybe it ain't always so much that they ain't there for you. It's just that a lot of times our relationships ain't built for that. Our relationships don't have that. We haven't put the kind of vulnerability on the line that allows for somebody to be there for us, you know? And one of the notes that I wrote down when I was thinking about this was, People can only hold us up by the part that we let them hold. The parts that we let them touch, that we entrust them to touch, that's the only part they can hold. If we falling, the only part they can hold us up with are the parts that we have already let them come in contact with, right? So if I meet people, if most of the people in my life are just people, you know, if I'm out here, the only people that know me, they know me through sex, you know, the genitals. Your genitals is the only way somebody know you. That's the only thing you've let them intimately touch. It's the only thing they can hold you up by. It's the only way they can be there for you. You know, if you haven't let somebody really know what's going on with you, really talk about them deep hurts and pains and things that you experience that you still got in there that ain't healed. If you ain't really let people know about that, if you ain't let them see that and touch that, they can't hold you up by it. When you're struggling, that's why depression ends up hitting us so deep in our community. Because when the feelings come on, we haven't been honest and open and transparent with enough people and vulnerable with enough people, so our support system is weak. And then we're like, man, I gotta, my homeboy, my ride or die, my day one, my ace, my homegirl, boom, boom, boom. But I haven't shared that with them. Or if I did, I ain't really talked to them about the hurt. So then they can't be there for you. Or maybe I ain't made space for them. Maybe I told them, but I don't want nobody feeling sorry for me. I don't need nobody's sympathy, so I think. So I ain't really gave them space to really do nothing. They really ain't got their hands on it. So when I'm falling, they might try to reach out, but I'm gonna slide through. I'm gonna slide through their grip. You know, I'm a hip hop fan, man. A lot of the visuals that come to my mind involve hip hop, man. But they involve hip hop. But I always think about my man Big Daddy Kane. I don't know if y'all remember, man. Back in like the late '80s, early '90s, my man Kane was ruling the world, man. He was dope, and he had these two dancers, School Lover and Scrap Lover. And anybody that ever seen them perform, though, that them boys get down. They still even get down now. If you see them perform these days, they still do their thing, right? So they had this routine where all three of them would do the thing, with Kane in the middle and the two dancers on the side, and he would do this thing where he flipped to the side and then he would fall back. And his boy, Scoob or Scrap, whichever one of them, they would catch him all the way down. They would catch him and pull him back up. And he would be back up doing the dance. The one, it showed a lot of chemistry between them dancing. But it was kind of like that trust fall, right? In order to pull that move off, Kane got to turn his back and drop all the way down. You know what I'm saying? He could basically fall on his ass on the stage, man. He's got to fall all the way down. He's got to give Scoob or Scrap, whichever one of them it was, he got to give them basically under his arms. They hands hook under his arms. So he's got to go like this and fall back. So they can hook under, grab him, bring him back up. The crowd goes crazy. He keep going. Ain't no half stepping. You know what it is. Ain't no half stepping. You know what it is. So, I want to encourage anybody out there today. If there's moments or days or weeks or just long periods, seasons, years, where you feel like, man, I'm going through the struggle, nobody here for me. Maybe we haven't made room for people. Maybe we haven't built that infrastructure. Maybe there's people out there that was in your life and you didn't reach out. I know a lot of times I've done that where it's like, man, God put somebody around me, but I ain't do that leg work to really solidify it. Solidify them. Reach out to people. Build even people that you've known for a long time, because trust me, here's one thing I want you to remember. A lot of our friendships, because in our community, man, most of us are traumatized. Most of us got PTSD, anxiety, depression, That's just a fact. And people like that build relationships that are not the healthiest. It don't mean that these people don't love you or you don't love these people. But it does mean there's some sickness and some dysfunction there. And you've probably both built a relationship with some of that dysfunction in it. So even, I don't care if it's somebody you've been friends with since school days, you probably could stand to reinvent yourself. You know what I mean? Reach out to them, tell them the things you're going through, be a little more transparent, be a little bit more vulnerable with them, tell them the things you need, ask them what's going on with them, start to build new roads, build new roads. You know what I mean? You ever, you know, when you go around with dysfunction and this lack of healing, what we do is we're building bad roads. It's like having roads, like driving through a neighborhood where half the, you know, sometimes you got big potholes, you gotta go around, destroy your car, you gotta drive around. So, you know, that's how we are when we interact with people in a dysfunctional way, or when we build these relationships. You know, I might have a friend, but it's like, if I'm dealing with something, I might have to swerve around that pothole because I haven't patched that road up. I haven't built that road in a sound way. It ain't smooth. It ain't structurally sound. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, because of us having dysfunction, or the communication fall all the way apart and go all the way left. Relationships go all the way left. You know, sometimes you're driving in a neighborhood and it's streets you can't even turn down. You can't even turn down that street. You got to keep going and kind of do one of them roundabout jug handle moves because you can't turn down that street because you've ruined it, or they've ruined it. It's been ruined. You know, so what I advise all of us to do, man, even with our friends, you know, me and my friends, we go through this, you know, we find ourselves in the midst of things where it's like, man, we friends, man, we've been friends 20, 30 years. Let's evolve in this way. Let me hit you with this real quick. You may not have known this about me, but boom. Let's add this another aspect to our friendship. Let's change this. Let's grow in this area. You can do that. You can do that. Ain't nothing that says just because you known somebody for 30 years that y'all friendship got to stay the same. It can grow. It can grow, man. You know, but just like when I was talking about the song Respiration, one of the lines in there was, trees don't grow in Brooklyn, seeds need to be planted. Hey, we can still plant new seeds in our relationships, man. We can still do that, you know? It's always time to grow, evolve, change, bring some more health to it. So, you know, that's my challenge to all of us today, man. You know what I'm saying? I try to work on it myself all the time, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all of my crew, everybody that knows me. You know what I'm saying? I try to get better every day, and I know they do too. That's one of the things I love about the people that I kick it with, you know? So that's what's up, man. This your boy Jay Floyd, your big bro. I just wanted to come holler at y'all real quick, man, and talk about the ways that we can let people be there for us. Let's get on that vulnerability, man. I love y'all.